Hi, welcome to another episode of Freezer Burns. As always, I'm your host, Greg. And I'm just doing some research here on my computer, reading up on a Dr. James H. Salisbury. Now, if you don't know about James H. Salisbury, you should. He's an English/American physician in the late 1800s. And, if you're a beef jockey like me, you should be really thankful for this guy. Here's why. In a story called The Relation of Alimentation and Disease, he basically said you should be eating meat all the time, at least 3 times a day. Now, why does this apply to you? Well, because today I'm going to be reviewing this. It's the Healthy Choice Salisbury Steak Dinner. Now, you might be saying to yourself, a meat pimp like Salisbury would not be thinking about a healthy choice deal. He'd be thinking more like your traditional Swanson TV dinner, that type of stuff, the foil tray, the whole bit. But this healthy choice meal has not only a caramel apple crisp associated to it, it also has a vegetable medley and seasoned red skin potatoes. Now, at only 9 grams of fat for the entire meal, let's see if this represents what Salisbury intended for his 3 times a day meat meal. What do you say we put this in the oven and see how it tastes? Now for a few details on today's review. Once again, it's the Healthy Choice Salisbury Steak with Mushroom and Gravy. This is part of the Complete Selections line, and basically what that means is you don't need to drop 2 or 3 different items in the microwave. It's all contained in this one box. Now there's microwave directions in conventional ovens, and by now you know how I roll. I only go microwave. We're only going to pop this in for 6 to 6.5 minutes, let stand for 2 minutes, then carefully remove as product will be hot. So what do you say we take this out of the box, let's pop it on the plate, and looks like we can do the old Zorro slit today. So let's go get my knife. So we're going to open up this box here, and inside we see a complete meal. This will eventually be the Salisbury steak. Right now it's a big frozen piece of turd. Here is a red skin potato. We got some apple crisp here, and this would be the vegetable medley. Now, according to the directions, we are supposed to slit film over entree. I believe this is the entree, this is the side dish, and this is the dessert. I got my trusty knife, and like I said, we're gonna slit that in Z formation. Now I'm going to put this in the microwave. Okay, so I've taken this out of the microwave and I've let it sit for 2 minutes. I'm going to show you what it looks like now. As you can see, it's still steaming. The Salisbury steak itself looks a little more appetizing. The vegetable medley, however, looks very dry. It looks almost like a can of veg-all. One of the big issues that I had is when I was removing the film, some of the sweet apple oatmeal juice got into my potatoes, so we're going to see how that tastes. I'm going to cut a piece of this off right now. So this right here is the steak. Basically looks like a hamburger patty. Let me see how that tastes. It's got a nice little brown gravy on top. Okay, so the Salisbury steak is not bad. It's not terribly salty. It has a little pepper taste to it. It breaks up in my mouth pretty good, just the way that I had hoped. I'm going to try some of the potatoes. The potatoes aren't bad. My fears were a little realized here though, and then I have some sweet apple taste on top of my potatoes. Now, I'm not saying that that's all bad, but it's also not all good either. If you're gonna give me compartments, I'd like to keep them that way. Let's try this vegetables. So I got some beans and a little bit of corn in that bite. The vegetables taste fresh, but they look nasty. Now on to dessert. So there's a lot of nice oatmeal on there. Smells like caramel, warm apples. Apples are a little tart, not as sweet as I would like. The oatmeal's not crisp at all. This should be, on the box, it says caramel apple crisp. It should be called caramel apple soggy. The vegetable medley, not much of a medley. Medley in terms of variety. It tastes fresh, but looks really nasty. The potatoes, I would say, is what makes this a dinner. Again, this is a complete selection. The Salisbury steak is good enough. I think this is an overall filling meal. I have to keep on reminding myself that this is, again, a healthy choice. I'm not, my mouth doesn't really compute with healthy choice. So I gotta kind of reassess, lower the bar a little in terms of taste. Here are the kind of the facts. 9 grams of fat overall, that's not bad for a full meal. Only 360 calories and only 600 milligrams of sodium. Again, that's for steak, potatoes, apple crisp, and a vegetable medley. At just a little under $4 a box, this is a pretty decent meal. On the back, it does say, good food and good life, complete meal with a delicious dessert. Yeah, it does come with a dessert. I wouldn't say that it's a dessert worth having, but as an overall package, this is basically a modern day TV dinner, just instead of foil, we're talking black plastic. So, once again, this is my first review of Salisbury steak. Look for other Salisbury steak reviews in the future. My name is Greg. This is another episode of Freezer Burns, and I'll see you next time.